Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to make a video today about this little 6-inch trim saw. I've been having problems cutting, a lot of vibration, breaking the stones once it gets close to mostly cut. Wasn't the blades. I put a new blade on, I still had the issue. And let me show you what it actually is. Let me take this off. Get this out of the way. All right, so you have an Arbor here that basically runs with a belt back to the motor to drive the blade, and it's got two bearings, one in the front, one in the back, and one or both those bearings have apparently gone out, so there shouldn't be any play in this at all. And there's, I don't know if you can see it, let me grab it this way. I don't know if that's actually showing up on video where you can see how much wiggle there is. You can hear it. So yeah, it's got a lot of wiggle in it. So that movement, when it's spun up at full speed, can cause really bad vibration in the stone that's cutting, causing them to break. So I wanted to just replace the bearings in this, but they've been out of stock for a while. The actual Arbor isn't that much money, and they had one in stock, so I went ahead and bought a new Arbor. So got a brand new Arbor here. So I'm going to take this Arbor off and replace it with the new one and get rid of that play. I'll pop bearings out of this, and once the bearings come back in stock, I'll get some new bearings and put this back together for a backup, because apparently these bearings go bad pretty quick. Although I do use the saw a lot and I do cut a lot of rock. So let's get this off here and take a look at the back side of the Arbor. Probably take a hex key or something to get there should be a pulley attached to the Arbor that drives the belt. So we'll take this off and go from there. Be right back. All right, I've got the protective panel that goes over the belt off. So this is what we got. This is the speed setup they have with the pulleys. So, all right, we got a couple of hex nuts to pull out so I can get this Arbor off. May need to loosen the bolts here, probably on the back side of this motor mount, so I can shift this and get the belt off. It's on pretty tight. So let's start with that. Let's get the belt off first, because I might be able to get it off by taking this off now, but I don't know how to put it back on that tight. So we'll loosen it up and take these nuts out. All right, let me take a look at that real quick. All right, so I literally had to take the nuts all the way off so I could lift this motor up, because this is where it actually sits. Couldn't move it up forward anymore. You can move it back to tighten it, but it was all the way up. So now you can actually see the wiggle in it a lot better. So next step would be to get this pulley off. For furley before taking this off, so you have some way to hold it while pulling this off. So we got a couple hex nuts here. Oh, that's got a lot of play. I think both sets of bearings are actually out. So I'll take those two hex nuts out of there. They're set nuts that hold the pulley to the arbor. And then I can take these out and pull this off. So let me do that real quick. Also, just as a side note, I'll probably take this whole thing apart off of this board so I can kind of clean it up a little bit before putting everything back together. But for now, let's just concentrate on getting the arbor off of this so we can get the new arbor put on. All right, be right back. All right, so loosen these up. Got this pulled out. So now I'm gonna take, there's 1, 2, 3 bolts holding that onto the side of the tank. So I'll take those out, loosen them up already, and be able to take this off of here. So let's see what it looks like. All right, take that off real quick. All right, had to use a rubber mallet to tap it off to break this seal that is on here. I don't see any goop, so I'm guessing it just bolts on, and it was just kind of crudted on there. So old bearing off. Now I put the new bearing back on. Show you what they look the same. So for starters, that's what's gonna happen. But for now, let's I'm gonna unbolt these 4 bolts here, take this tank off, clean that up, and take this motor off and this switch box off. It's got 4 screws in it. So I've got this unbolted already. I'll unbolt this, I'll unscrew that, take them off, clean this up, clean each of the pieces up as good as I can. Don't gotta be perfect, just get them a little cleaner than they are now. Obviously it's gonna get dirty. I mean, I've only had this saw for, I think less than a year. I think I bought it this year. So let's get that undone and get everything cleaned up and see what it looks like. All right, so I've got everything off the board except for these studs that are mounted through the back. Looks like they mounted these incorrectly at one point and redid them. This is what they look like on the back. That's funny. That was a whoops on somebody's part. Okay, so motor goes back here, the belt protector goes here, tank goes here, the electrical box with the switch goes here. I'll get all of those cleaned up next and start putting this thing back together again. All right, I've got the board cleaned off, the baseboard. I got the motor cleaned up a little bit. It's in good shape. I got the new Arbor on. Got the tank cleaned up. It's still a little grungy looking on the inside, but that's mostly because the all the paint's gonna end up peeling off the inside of these tanks. I did put a little bit of gasket maker on between the Arbor base and the tank, so I'll have to give that some time to set up. But next, I got the switch box cleaned up as well. So what do I got left? I've got the belt protector, which is really heavy. They didn't chintz out on this. So I got this all cleaned up, ready to go back on. I got the top plate I still need to clean, the tabletop. And yeah, okay, so let me get the pulley back on here, and let me get the belt on and get all this stuff tightened back up, and get the top cleaned up, and once this dries, we'll hopefully be ready to go. All right, I'll show you what it looks like once I get everything put back together again. All right, got everything back together. I haven't put a blade on it yet, still waiting for the Arbor gasket to dry. In which case, once that's done, I'll get a blade back on it, get this bolted back on, and we'll fire it up and see if that does a better job. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on the next video where I cut some rocks with this new Arbor and a new saw blade. All right.